Hello and welcome to Zombie Beach. I'm Jerry. Dan's not with us here today. He's been busy. So I did a little recording after seeing the movie District 9, and I did it with my good and old friend Tim. And here it is.
Okay.
Oh, I'm recording.
Okay, I'll see you later.
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.
Well, Tim, we're recording. I just opened. We're still at the store, and we're at a Target, and I bought a Sony something stereo recorder, and I've opened it up and I put the battery in it, and we're sitting at Starbucks, and I started recording.
And I'm wiping sweat off my PDA.
Yes, because he's a tech, and he does those things. And it's an IDC UX70 for all you tech heads out there who may give a damn about that.
And that's the new model with the Gamma XP6 in it.
Yes, and the Mobius strip memory that never ends. So anyway, this is apparently in stereo. I don't know how it's going to work, but we're going to do our first podcast.
We're recording
in stereo from Starbucks in Target. In Warrenville. Cheers! And we just saw a great science fiction movie called District 9.
District 9. I'm having prawns for dinner.
You might grow claws. No, he said it didn't work like that.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, and so, and then I ran out of things to say.
My seafood humor knocked it right out of your head, huh?
It was a really good movie.
It was an awesome movie.
It was. The only thing that I saw that's been close to it was that monster movie from about a year or so ago, Cloverfield. It was kind of like that, but not quite. It was better done, I think, much better done. Whereas it was done half reality, but not quite. So a lot of the scenes were from the viewpoint of a handheld recorder. They're supposed to be actually there because they were documenting it, and it was also scenes from various security cameras, and then there was inexplicable scenes that were Hollywood-like, where they were following characters and giving subtitles, which was
the best digital representation of an alien I have ever seen in my life.
Those were really aliens. They were, but then they. Yeah, they were. They were very bug-like.
Also, I loved the fact that the protagonist was sort of the anti-hero.
Yeah.
Even more because of the whole bureaucraticness of it all. He was the anti-hero.
He was like the most anti-hero you could have, especially in a post-Bush administrative type society in South Africa. I'll tell you what. How many? Did it really say how far in the future this was supposed to have been?
It's the present. So it started 20 years in the past. So it started in like 19... Well, what year is it?
I took it to be that it started, the whole thing started like the day after tomorrow, and then the movie took place 20 years from the day.
When they landed and they were showing when they arrived, they were showing the press of when they arrived, and that was in the 1980s.
Oh, so this was kind of like an alternate history thing.
Right. Sort of an alternate universe kind of thing.
Well, one thing I was going to bring up with you is there's a new, I think it's a DreamWorks, a movie coming out where it takes place in an alien world, and then, of course, I think humans land there, and the humans are the aliens. I've always wanted to see someone do a movie that completely took place on a colony world that didn't really have anything to do with space battles. It was that it's just a social science fiction where they're dealing with maybe an alternate way of doing society. that would be, to me, the most interesting thing in the world. And nobody does that because things don't explode and aliens don't land to take over your brain or eat your children. You know?
Definitely not the setting for all the gratuitous violence that we like in our movies nowadays, which District 9 had in spades.
Yeah, you see, that's not what I really like. It was, I think, actually in District 9, I think it was tastefully done. I really do. It wasn't as overboard because it wasn't as realistic. They were shooting these things that would make people go splat and explode, right? But it was almost a cartoon way. I didn't believe that it would actually happen like that.
I will accept that as far as when the alien technology was introduced into the plot. Because you were taking something that doesn't exist, the alien technology, and you were showing the effect of it being used, which was not how you would ever perceive anyone being killed, whether they were human or alien. But at the beginning of the film, when it was all about the subjugation of the aliens, and there were arms being lopped off, and people being shot in the head, and aliens being shot in the head. It was sort of like the fact that all this gratuitous violence against the aliens was okay and was not as shocking because it's not us, it's them.
Yeah, and also
was
because
kind of
they're
offensive to me, actually.
Well, yeah, true, but I mean they were very cockroach-like. I mean, they were calling them prawns, but to me they had antennas. They moved like cockroaches. So I was thinking bugs the whole time, intelligent bugs. Although obviously they weren't bugs, but still. Here's what I think is the difference. In Watchmen, you got to see, well, there was actually some interesting parts, like you got to see Lee Iacocca getting shot in the forehead and his brains blowing out the body in slow motion. That was kind of cool, but still, I didn't like the way that it was slowed down so you could see every little drop of blood. You could see the violence in slow motion like it was glorified and beautiful. I don't like that. I hate that. I think that's wrong. That it's just wrong. In District 9, they showed some violence, but they showed it the way you would really see it. You didn't really get to see much. It was more hinted at because the video
for the arm being put in the bag.
Well, yeah, but I mean, what I'm talking about is when it was actually happening. It was like low grade video. Most of it was blurred. It was more implied than it was anything else.
Yeah, that's probably true. Anyway, 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up, way up.
Or 2 tentacles up.
2 prawns up.
2 pinchers up.
2 pinchers up. I'm going to pause it. I do have to really appreciate the fact that we're in a public place and everybody's being quiet because we're recording. Thank you, everybody.
Today's podcast brought to you by Target.
Target. I can't figure out how to pause it.
One of the most widely recognized brand logos in the world.
You know, I don't think there is a pause. I think it's just on and off. I'll try that. Okay, we're recording again. I don't know where we're recording, but this is live. We're on the streets of Chicago.
We are recording at the intersection in front of Pantera, which is a sort of an industrial and entertainment area. Because you were in Pantera when you were at your corporate apartment.
I was indeed, yes.
And we're in front of the AMC 30 movie theater. 30 screens.
Yep.
You can watch 30 different versions of the same crappy Hollywood movie all at once.
No, they do have some actual independent movies there. As we know, because that's where we saw Moon.
Yeah, but it took forever for Moon to get here.
Yeah. And we ate lunch at Rock Bottom, which is actually very excellent.
Awesome.
Good beer, too. But the food was out of this world.
Fish tacos.
And they didn't even pay us to say that. No,
Right.
we paid them.
Which part didn't they pay us to say?
Oh, but we did get free mugs. Not mugs, but pints.
If you weren't recording this, I would make a comment about how any opportunity I have to put my face deep into a fish taco is one that I take.
You know what? I didn't know you liked fish tacos. I like them as well.
I love fish tacos.
And we're not, of course, talking about any kind of female anatomy or anything.
No, we're talking about fish tacos. What were you talking
real
about?
Fish tacos.
Yes.
Tacos with fish in them are actually very, very good.
And these, like the ones you had the other day, were grilled.
Yes.
And that's the best way to have them.
And the thing is, for everybody out there who is afraid of seafood in a taco, don't be afraid, try it. If you like fish at all, try a fish taco. This announcement has been brought to you by fishtaco.com.
And the Fish Taco Association of America.
Yeah, the Fish Taco Appreciation Society and people like you.
People like you who care about fish tacos.
Yes. Well, that's about all I have of the remote recording. As you can tell, it wasn't really that clear. There was a lot of background noise, so actually I took it back. Probably be the last time we try that. We're going to switch from sci-fi movies and things of that nature here on Zombie Beach to something a little different. As I had a good friend of mine, Brad, sent me a link on Facebook to a very talented young woman named Julie Nunes, not Nunez, but Nunes, as she'll point out to you, who plays the ukulele. And so I went and I watched, she's got like all these videos out there on YouTube. And what a talented girl. I mean, my God. And so I thought I would feature some clips here, just a little sampling of her music, and point you toward her, so you could check her stuff out yourself. She's got 2 albums out on iTunes, and also there's CDs you could buy from her site, and she's working on a 3rd right now this summer. So we'll check her out. And also there's apparently, and maybe this isn't a surprise to a lot of you, but it was to me. There's a whole bunch of people out there playing the ukulele. It's like this renaissance of the ukulele, and there are incredible talents out there. Really fun music from, when I think ukulele, I think Tiny Tim, but this is way beyond this. This is really good stuff. So take a listen.
What's the problem, baby? What's the problem? I don't know. Well, maybe I'm in love. Think about it every time I think about it. Can't stop thinking about it. How much longer will it take to cure this? Just to cure it, cause I can't ignore it. If it's love, makes me wanna turn around and face me, but I don't know nothing about love. Oh, come on, turn a little faster. Come on, world will follow after. The other night I dreamt tonight, got to know triple light. I'm sitting in the line, let her burn tight. That Reginald, Lenny Bruce, Lester Bates, Birdie Party, Cheesecake, Jelly Bean, Boom. You really ought to picture like simple next, right? Next time of the world as we know it, it's the end of the world as we know it, it's the end of the world as we know it. I feel fine.
That was Julie Nunes. Julie Nunes. I have a friend named Tim Nunez. I keep on wanting to call Julie Nunez, but she says it's Nunes. You can find her at Julie Nunes, NUNES.com, and look for her stuff. Also, her studio music is on iTunes. Her CDs are on her website too. So give her, while I was listening to her and a whole bunch of the other ones, I also stumbled across another singer-songwriter named Molly Lewis. You gotta listen to this. This is great.
I disliked Gwen Stefani for her weird-ass voice and that stupid hair of hers, and it felt like J.K. Rowling conspired to kill off all my favorite characters. I disliked all the people I had to ride with on the commuter bus. If Nancy Grace and I were to meet, I would have kicked her in the uterus. But my attitude has had a total overhaul naysayers nay, I don't care what they say. It's all jibber jabber anyway, and I pity the fool who cannot rhyme.
I love that. That is so awesome. Molly Lewis. You can find her on, what is it? It's sweetafton23.com. That's SWEETAFTON23.com. That's her website. Leads to her videos, her music. You could also find her in iTunes. You know, this whole thing, I just was having a blast just as discovering all this music out there, and you can discover it mainly through YouTube, and just kind of like surf through it and support independent music. Anyway, that's about all I've got for today. Maybe next time I'll have Dan with me. Sorry, Dan, he doesn't know I recorded without him. And thank you, Tim. Thank you for spending the afternoon with me, going to the movies, having some great beer, going and shopping, getting this little recorder thing that I ended up taking back, and having coffee and recording with me in public and in the middle of the road. It was really fun. Maybe we'll do it again. That's it for zombiebeach.zom.com. Thanks for downloading and listening.